Hey guys, Delta from YJO Anime Games, and this is going to be Weevil's Duelist Kingdom deck profile. Now we're in the middle of the Duelist Kingdom wave. Hopefully you saw that Weevil versus Yugi duel that kicked off the wave. If not, definitely check that out. But yeah, Weevil is the Insect Duelist. He was the first opponent we saw duel in the actual tournament. He lured Yugi after he threw Yugi's auxiliary pieces off of the ship. It's a pretty cool deck, you know. Who doesn't like insects? Actually, a lot of people. But anyway, we'll get into the actual deck profile for what we saw Weevil take on Yugi within Duelist Kingdom. That starts off with 3 basic insect. Pretty basic, not much more to say here. It's one of his weaker monsters, and you will notice there will be a lot of 3-ofs with the Duelist Kingdom decks. A lot of them just, you know, we didn't see a lot of cards played by a lot of these characters. I mean, a character like Weevil has a lot of cards missing too, like Big Insect, Kamakura Man, some of his spells and traps. But some characters just only played like 7 or 8 cards. So you're going to see a lot of 3-ofs. We definitely had to include a lot of our own cards in some cases. Weevil is a few of our cards that we had to include to give him a 40-card deck. So as you watch the deck profiles, don't be surprised. And hopefully you're getting the idea that when we debut a new character in a duel, in a wave, we have their deck profile following that duel. For those who are new to the channel, it's usually the way we do our waves when we introduce a whole bunch of new decks. If you're new to the channel, also go over to our channel, check out all the character decks we have, over 70, 5Ds, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. It's all there. But anyway, moving on to Weevil's deck, we have 2 Flying Kamakiri number 2. A little bit of a stronger insect. This is one that we had to add to his deck. He played it later on. It's a vanilla, it seemed to make sense for us. You're going to see us include a lot of cards with good reason that we feel fit the character's deck, that we feel make it feel authentic to the character. So we're not going to chock Weevil's deck full of a whole bunch of effect monsters, you know, but we will give him some more normal insects, you know, because that was pretty predominant in Duelist Kingdom. We're not going to put a whole bunch of really potent traps in there. Gokabor, sitting there at 3. Not bad. Hercules Beetle, another 3-of. This one a little stronger, 1500 and 2000. So 2000 defense is definitely pretty good. Then we have 3 Killer Needle. So this is what I believe we will open the duel with. Kind of cool. I mean, I don't like Hornets, but it's kind of a cool card. Pretty simple, guys. The Duelist Kingdom deck profiles are usually pretty simple because there's a little more duplicates, and I mean, a lot of it's normal monsters. You know, it's not quite as complicated effects. All right, so 3 Cocoon of Evolution. And you will notice the errata sticker. Again, for those who are new to the channel, that white sticker denotes a card that we play with an errata. So the real Cocoon of Evolution, Larva Moth, Gray Moth, those kinds of cards, work with Petite Moth instead of Larva Moth. So if you actually see our errata document, which is in the description, we have all erratas typed up. This just lets us use Cocoon of Evolution with Larva Moth, just like Weevil did in the show, as opposed to Petite Moth. 3 of that, 2000 defense isn't bad too. And then we have 3 Gray Moth. So Gray Moth is also errated. Obviously we can't tribute Petite Moth with Cocoon of Evolution because we play with Larva Moth and Cocoon of Evolution. So we had to errata Great Moth so we could tribute Larva Moth for it. However, Weevil's Larva Moth after just 2 turns was a moth, and he would have summoned Great Moth. Yugi just busted the Cocoon on the 4th turn. So he also let you summon Great Moth after you've had Larva Moth equip the Cocoon of Evolution for 2 turns. From a gameplay perspective, that also just makes Weevil's deck a lot better. You know, sometimes it can be hard to keep a monster on the field for a while. And with 3 Great Moth in deck, we don't want you to just always be drawing this in games and not able to play it. So that's an errata that makes a lot of sense for us. By the way, guys, you should definitely check out our Facebook if you are not liking it already. We're going to do a giveaway on Facebook when we hit 500 likes, so it's really cool. That giveaway will be on Facebook. You'll have to enter on Facebook. And we also just put cool content on there that you don't want to miss out on. Then we have 3 Larva Moth. So the way this was printed, you need, again, Petite Moth. We've just errated it so you can actually summon the Larva Moth, just like Weevil did. It's kind of a cool card. I really like the pattern they put on the larvae. And then the last monster in Weevil's deck is 2 Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. I'm sure some of you are wondering why this is here. He played it in Battle City. He didn't actually play it in Duelist Kingdom, but he did intend to summon it in Duelist Kingdom. Like I was talking about before with Yugi bursting the cocoon, Weevil said that Yugi popped the cocoon before his moth could finish its evolution. So the Great Moth that we saw come out was not the final form. Even in Duelist Kingdom, Weevil intended to summon the more powerful Perfect Ultimate Great Moth. He just had to settle for summoning Great Moth because Yugi popped his cocoon you know, on only the 4th turn before it was done. So it's really clear that Weevil would have played Perfect Ultimate Grey Moth, and I mean, he technically wouldn't have even played the card. In Duelist Kingdom especially, there weren't always like actual physical cards that they would draw to do, you know, different things. It was just that these cards would become the card. Like Toons weren't their own separate card in Pegasus' hand. The monsters would actually become Toons. So his Larva Moth would have become Perfect Ultimate Great Moth if it had not been stopped. So we put the card in Weevil's deck to compensate for that. It makes sense to us, like we said. Speaking of that, we have 3 Forest and 2 Terraforming. So if you saw that duel Weevil versus Yugi, you would have seen Forest in action. The field spell bonus was a huge part of Duelist Kingdom. It was very instrumental in the duels we saw in Duelist Kingdom. You know, Weevil drew Yugi to a specific field, so he knew he would have the field power bonus for its insects. With that being such a huge element, we wanted to incorporate it in the decks, because we could always fill out the decks with, you know, whatever. You know, even characters with only 8 cards, we could fill out with tons of different stuff, a whole bunch of different monsters, you know, all stuff that might not always feel that right. Or we could include the field spells, which, giving their monsters a power bonus similar to the anime, really makes it feel like the actual games from Duelist Kingdom. You know, these may be cards they didn't necessarily play, but including them makes it feel like the anime. It makes the duels feel authentic to the anime. And that's why Terraforming is in here too. It just makes sense to shout the field spells. It would be kind of unfortunate if we played a lot of games and you almost never saw the field spells in work. So having 2 Terraforming and 3 of a field spell, which you'll see with the other Duelist Kingdom characters' decks that are in this wave too, that combination really lets you make sure that you're seeing the field spell. And to make sure that our duels will feel like the Duelist Kingdom anime, where our monsters will be playing with a power bonus just from a field spell. So it's something that we felt really worked well. Instead of just throwing in other monsters or whatnot, we could recreate that aspect from Duelist Kingdom, that field power bonus. 3 Insect Armor with Laser Cannon, a really strong equip actually. A less strong equip, Laser Cannon Armor, and Weevil actually had level 3 Laser Cannon and level 2 Power Boost. He used them on his basic insect. They powered it up. Sometimes we have to work with what we have printed. So yeah, Laser Cannon Armor, 300 attack, not bad. 300 defense as well. 1 Monster Reborn. Card you saw everywhere. They said Reborn the Monster in Duelist Kingdom. It just makes sense for it to be here. We include it in a lot of our decks for characters who don't have a full 40 cards of their own. And then 3 Infinite Dismissal. So we saw this in the duel against Rex. Not the most practical card, but it does have its uses. And a 3 of, like so many other cards in the deck. So that's Weevil's 40 card deck. We're really happy with it. We're really happy with the field spells incorporating characters' decks. Like I said, that feels right for us to be able to recreate that aspect of Duelist Kingdom. Perfect Ultimate Great Moth being here, really cool too. Yeah, this is a cool insect deck. It's nice to go back to Duelist Kingdom and play some of the earlier games. Like the video for sure if you like this. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the rest of Duelist Kingdom content, which is going to be rolling out. We're just in the beginning of the wave, so there is plenty more to come. Thank you guys, and YGO Anime Games out.